Back at it again. So I'm gonna lay down some more stuff on who or what Lisa is, what Leonardo is describing. Thought that, need to simplify on some of the things that I've stated in the past videos. Maybe compress some of the information here in this one. It might turn out to be maybe 2 or 3 more videos or something like that. Who knows, it depends how I want to expand on this. So we're looking at the female character, which everyone's obsessed with. Like how there's a female character in The Last Supper, so we're going to look at the similarities between Lisa, Mary Magdalene, and Anuk-Sunamun, which I'm pretty positive this from Tutankhamun's tomb has been identified as her. So yeah, gonna pretty much pin it down. Where should I start? We'll start with, like I've suggested or stated, how there was a subconscious response from Da Vinci on encountering Lisa Gioconda. Deja vu, that sort of function arises. Now, deja vu occurs in a simple form where the structure of one place is nearly identical to another, and the mind recognizes that and has a sense of recall. And the structure in the Mona Lisa is Da Vinci's face has been used as a model, and his mother, and and Lisa Gioconda herself, obviously. And he's done that to show what triggers this response, which only modern science kind of figured out. And I compared that to this little cryptostylus orchid, which fools the wasp into reproducing with it, but only in order to pollinate itself. Cryptostylus subulata. So it's interesting those the word derivatives, the crypto and the sub. So anyway, some questions arise that need to be answered, I guess. So yeah, this duping mechanism is like in a genetic code here. So why is it like this? Why? I always have to ask why. There has to be a reason for it. And as we see here, she's got this mechanism of duping, but she's continuing, as we see here. Da Vinci puts the female figure on the side of negative traits, So there are negative traits. She's using the non-negative or superior genes, i.e. Da Vinci's or Jesus's, to carry negative traits. So it's not necessarily an entirely positive thing. He's trying to get across with this person. So when you think of like these things, our behavioral patterns, like it's all in our genetic coding. So what is the programming in this, like, with our mate selection and everything? It's all subconscious, genetic. Da Vinci seems to have a connection to the subconscious where he's able to analyze it, he's able to be an observer and not under its control. The programming there, the triggers. So perhaps the Egyptian model, as we can see that it's divided once again, there's a separation here. Now I explain how these things represent basically like a helix. There's a lot of things going around, like they might seem like single two kind of stems or whatever, but there's male genitalia, different stages. There's a break at one stage here at the full maturity. I've showed this in other vids, that's why I'm not doing close-ups. So I showed with the 322 videos, with a 2-year manifestation period of something that emerges, a foreign installation pretty much, or an autoimmune function, something that works against the host from within, as well as finding an outer relationship. Actually, a touch on the external relationship that's going, anyway, a different direction. So yeah, the 322, the timed genetic functions there at certain maturity stages, and 19, depending on where the start is from, but usually basically around the usual age of maturity. 19 where Tutankhamun was said to have died. There's a break on the head here of the flower, how it topples over, right where the male genitalia and full maturity kind of thing is also. So it's telling us, and that has relevance to like other stuff, like Revelations, the second death. Like it wasn't. They did autopsies on the corpse, and it wasn't the cause of death. But yeah, so all that's been encoded. Like they say, it was a rush job, but they knew he had like malaria and stuff. They knew very well that he was going to die, and the tomb would have already been in preparation. So these mismarked things, and even the mask, they say, was like borrowed from this female mask. And so basically what it's trying to tell you is that it's not who you actually think it is, and I'll go more into there. genetic line as well, and how it came about, like Martin and stuff. Another video, because yeah, this is already going pretty long. Okay, so I just want to point out how she's depicted. So she's got, if you notice here, the arms crossed in a very confused position. And we know Egyptians sometimes do interesting perspectives, like with the eye. It's not supposed to see the full eye. That's because it's looking at the viewer as well. It's showing that it's encrypted, the whole message. If you're looking into it, and if you can discover in this realm of mind where the story exists, then it can see you as well. So we're looking at the female character here. Her arms are crossed over. As you can see, this thing's definitely on the other side. So she's in a confused state, and crossed over. You've got your hands crossed over your arms. In Egyptian symbolism, it's a state of death, or Osiris has to do with the X, Lord of the Underworld, or God, in simple terms. Okay, so why would she be representing Osiris or a state of death? Okay, so she is in her consciousness, at least, in a state of death. And relevance to Osiris, we have to look at these little connections to get the full story. Why would a female character, when Osiris is male, be with that? So it's confused. There's confusion there that it's trying to tell us within this being in her entire state. Something's not 100% right or perfect with it, as we see on the other side. The more simple, less complicated thing over here seems to be more order. This is like a mess, chaos, a jungle. So we're seeing like stages of fertility in these, which can represent the code, the two strands. So if we look at this character, if we look at her fertility, we've got wasp or bee. Now, when the whole thing's black and gold, got the black and gold band stripes, like it's bee related. It's talking about the hive systems and species. So we got like the stingers all the way up. So it's saying she's full of venom. Now, why would her, I know fertility in those days, ancient Egypt, can be seen as venom. They're making a point of her bloodline and her genetic code as extremely venomous. Like, there's stingers all the way up here. They're saying, like, watch out for this one, you know what I mean? And she's carrying the broken staff. I might describe this one in another video, but the crook and the flail, so I'll say for now. So some things that can't be ignored, like it looks like it's innocently designed, but there's something very intense. The saying with this, is a unique species in himself. Like, basically, this is like a human genetic code we've got to work with. Yeah, showing a separation between species here. Okay, so, and it's the same thing, that Da Vinci tells about Lisa. It's an innocent mask. How she's sitting, she's a very chaste woman, mysterious. But yeah, and once again, just like in the image from Tutankhamun's tomb, negative traits on her, negative traits here. So there's something in the genetic code, what it's trying to say, that is a guardian. So, as in Osiris guards the underworld, it acts like a guardian, but it's, since we got with the female figure, it's an opposite or a replica. So we got something replicating the divine, as we see here. And it's full of venom, and it's guarding a system. Now, all I can think of with those three things in a genetic code, when it comes to replicating, there's a replicating RNA virus in our genetic code. It's a major part of it. It even contributes to our immune system, which is a protective system, just like the use of the Osirian or Osiris symbolism would suggest. And like in the 322 videos, it attacks certain stages of development in the human genomic system. And yeah, 322. So I can only identify it as a virus scientifically. It's pointing, like, the whole thing's highly suggestive. It's not like it writes out the answer for you, it shows you, and it's like it's like a finger pointing to the moon. Don't look at the finger, you'll miss all the heavenly glory. Okay, so it's gone for nearly 20 minutes. Yeah, so might require more explanation. I'll go over the video. Made some bold statements, precise statements, so we can find out where we are wrong precisely and make that correction if so. But yeah, any questions or comments, drop it in the box below. Yeah, see you next time.